Welcome back to the session after lunch break. I hope you are all having good time in these sessions. We'll start with the session. Over to Vinay. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Good afternoon, all. Yeah. Coming back to our Unity session, you people are done with the material exporting. Material importing, model importing, right? Am I audible, everyone?
Yeah, you're audible, Vinay.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Yeah. So I just want to roughly once more. I want to explain with the material. So I'm
Yes, yes.
downloading some wall texture. Okay, just observe. This wall texture I want to apply to my game object, one of the game object. So I just want to download this, right click, I'm saving into my PC. Okay, so I want to download as PNG file or JPEG file. Okay, I'm saving, so JPG file. Okay, just I want to do drag and drop into my assets folder. So I am dragging and dropping into my assets. Okay, so now I am creating one cube. So I want to scale it like a wall. Okay, so more like this. Okay, so now I want to like assume like I have a model from outside. This is the wall, so I just created inside the Unity. So this is the wall. I will rename it wall. Okay, so I want to apply the texture to this wall. So just I want to create one material in project, right click in assets, create material. Okay, material is nothing but the top of the surface for the object or the 3D model. Okay, so I am creating material with the name wall texture. Okay, so as soon as I created the materials properties, everything will looking like this. So albedo, I need to add the texture. In albedo only I need to add the texture. So I'm just dragging and dropping into the albedo, or directly you can select from here. The circle thing is there now, you can click and add from here also from the window. So I'm added. So now I want to apply this material to my game object, right? So I'm just drag and drop to this wall, or I can drop here also in the wall. Okay, as soon as I added, the texture is applied like this. So like this only for the model, you need to apply the textures materials like this. So the project file should be maintained properly. If the material here so many is there, you need to create one. You have to maintain the folder structure. Okay, materials. I need to add all materials into one folder like that. So I'm adding into drag and dropping into the materials. So I have textures. So same thing. I need to create one more texture file like that. I have to maintain the proper structure file. So okay. So far you okay with the interface and how to import the model, how to add the textures. Okay. So now we will go with the basic scripting. Okay. Basic scripting. How to create script, how to access the model with using script, everything we can discuss in this session. Okay, so this is my car model, right? So this is my car, so I will rename it as car. Okay, car. Okay, this is my car, but the wheels are not inside the car. So these are the wheels, right? So I am dragging and dropping into the car. So as I earlier morning session I told you, right, about the parent child, same thing. So this is the whole car. So this is the model. I want to access the car with the transform. Okay. So empty game object I don't need. I'm deleting. So I have 3 game objects: direction light, camera. Okay. So in the game window, I am not able to see the my car, right? So I am setting my camera. So wherever the camera is there, I need to get here. So what is the shortcut? Select the game object, Control Shift F. So it is automatically come towards the your vision. Okay. Now you need to set up the car. Okay. So the far direction is very low. So I'm increasing into 1000. So now the car is able to see, right? This is my car in front of my camera. Okay. Coming to scripting, how to create script, how to add script to the game object, how to access the game object using script. Okay. So before that, I want to explain some little basics things regarding scripting, like variables, what is there, what are the control statements. You already know, but some rough introduction to this. Okay. So I'm creating now whatever the assets we are using, even the texture, scenes, animation, everything we can save in the asset folder, right? Okay. So as it is, I am creating the C# script in asset. So select the asset folder and right click on it, create C# script. So the class name should be a proper naming with the capital letters. Okay, starting with the capital letters, and your wish own name you can give. I am giving uh, controller. Okay, controller. Just hit enter and double click on it, or right click and open C# project. Okay, I am just double clicking on it. So it's opening in the Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio. Whenever you install Unity, it automatically install Visual Studio also. Okay. So as soon as you open the script, which is called controller class, okay. So the file name and the class name should be same. Okay. The first rule for the scripting, the class name and the file name should be same. So by default, whenever you created the scripting, right, whenever you open, the two functions are there. This is called one function. The function structure is looking like this, starting with the void and file name, function name. Okay. So as you people already know about functions, variables, everything, but just rough introduction. So this is the function called name as start, and this is the second function called update. So here you can see use this for initialization, and update is called once per frame. Okay, this function is automatically called by Unity engine but for the first time. Okay, this function update will call once per frame, means it will call continuously by the Unity engine. So I just want to print it something and show it to you. Print. Print. I am from start function. Okay. Just want to copy it. Paste here. I am from update function. Okay. So these output we can see in the console. As I morning told you, the console will use for the debugging, right? So the output window we can see in the console. So whatever the output if you want to see, we can see in the console. So start will call once, so it will execute once. It will execute continuously. Just check it. Okay. Save here, or you can hit Ctrl S. Okay. Ctrl S and minimize this. So how to run a script? So far the script is only in my assets, nowhere attached, right? So without attaching script, the script won't be executed. Okay, just I want to show you. Just I am playing without I am added nowhere. Okay, so now I want to add to any of the active game object. If the script need to perform means it need to attach it to the active game object, any of the one game object. I have 3 game objects, right? I want to add anywhere. Like I need to add car. Okay, here add component. My script name is controller. Right. So here is my created script. Or you want to direct add, just drag and drop here. Select the game object and drag and drop to here. Okay. Now I added a script and I want to run. So okay, here you can see I am from start function is executed how many times? Only once. So the function is called only once by the Unity engine. Okay, I am from update function. It is called continuously. It's calling continuously by the Unity engine. Okay, so this means if you want any condition checking or any runtime checking, you need to write inside the update function. Okay, so those who want execute only once, you need to write it in the start function. Okay, now as you already know, I want to declare some variable integer type a and float type. As soon as you type, it will automatically auto float value and character. I will type name. Okay, and string. I will take p. Okay, and boolean. So these 5 only we are using maximum in the Unity. Okay, no need of no need of professional scripting for this Unity. Okay, the basic knowledge is more enough for Unity projects. Boolean, I can create some G. Okay, now I just want to print it all. Okay, print a print value print name same debug.log. So similarly print is for displaying, right? Same as debug.log. It will also same like printing only. It will act p. Okay, and boolean print will print g. So here integer value by default what? 0. Float is 0. Character null. String is also null. Boolean by default what is the boolean value? False. Okay, so just I want to clear it. I want to add some more. Okay, integer. Okay, this is the concatenation. Okay, it will add to the next to this integer value. Okay, so I will add here float. Okay, whatever you wrote in the double quotes, it will print automatically. Whatever you wrote exactly, it will print same. Char. Very easy scripting. For Unity, no need of professional scripting. Okay, just the basic is more enough for this. P is stringing type property. I will print str, and this is the boolean. I will print bool value. Bool value. Okay. Yes. So just save here or Control S. You can hit. Now I will minimize this. Here it will compile at the bottom of the right side. It will compile. So after compile, Just clear your console. So I am playing. Already I assigned my script to one game object. So I am just playing. Okay. So I am from update function. It's already there. So it's running continuously. So int value is 0, float value is 0, character is null. So that's why it's empty. String is also empty. Boolean is by default value is false. Okay. Now we have access specifiers, right? Public, private, protected. So just I want to add it and show you. Public, I will write private, and again by public for character, and again protected for p, and again this is for public. Okay. So I am added. No need of confusion. Okay. I am taking public value for integer and public value for name, public value for boolean, private value for value, float value, and protected for string. Just look how it is appear in the console. Okay, here in the string, whatever the values you make it public, you can see in the component type in inspector, right? So a value is what? Integer type. So by default value is what? 0. So I am making it as 100. So by default name is what? Null. Nothing is there. So that's why it's print character only. Thing is printed. So I am adding India. So name is the what type here? So name is the character type. Character which takes only one character, right? So I am taking I. So G is by default value is false. Without ticking unchecked means it's false. I am enabling the this value. Okay, I'm just selecting the boolean value. So now what value will be going to print? 100, 1, and true value for the public variables only. The remaining values for the remaining will be same. String is again null and float is again 0 because we are not accessing, we are not changing these values. These are, one is protected value, so it's not showing here. One is private, so that is also not showing here. So public will make you see in the inspector, right? Okay. So as it is, I want to just explain if condition 1 and for loop. Okay. So before that, for integer I want to hold 1 to 10 numbers. So okay, so I am not it's not the right thing to do, create 10 numbers, right? C, T, E, like this. So I have like some plenty of numbers I want to use. So we have a concept called arrays, you already know it. So arrays, we can just declare the arrays like this. Integer, what type you want to create an array. Beside that you want to add a closed brackets. Okay, this is the declaration of arrays in C#. Okay, we are so public type, int, array type, and a. So I'm not given any length, right? So direct I will save here and I will show you in the inspector here. So here you can see the a size is 0 because you not declare any size, right? So if you want to declare any size, your wish, 5 or 10, just I will hit 10, enter. So 10 values, 10, okay, 10 variables it can hold by the variable a, integer values. So 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 7, 10. Okay, so these values I want to print at a time. Okay, so I will use what? For. For you already know, for is nothing but the loop of statement if you want to execute at one time. So we will use for. Okay, for is The declaration and initialization should be like this. For first is initialization. Where to start? I want to start, okay, from k equal to 0. I need to start, okay, and the length should be not more than the array length, okay. So this is the a dot length, means a is nothing but array dot length means this size. So this, it will check for up to whatever the array size is there, up to the mark it will be checked, okay. And now I will just want to print value of array value, whatever the array holding the value is there, I need to print the value, okay. So I declared one array in public, I gave some values. Now I wrote some for. So here just I am declaring integer which is starting with k equal to 0, okay. So k should be k less than next condition, initialization, condition, increment or decrement. This is the syntax, okay, like you know already. Okay, so up to the length it will be print. First we start with the k value what, 0. Next it will be plus. Plus means the value is placed by plus 1, right? So 0 become 1, 2, 3 up to a dot length. A dot length is what here? A dot length is 10. Okay, so up to 9 less than 10. So it's true, become true. So up to a bracket 9. A bracket 9 value means up to 10 value it will be show you in the console. So I am just saving my content. Came here and I am here. Okay, 0 is there, 1 is there, 2 printed 2 times because 2 is multiples. So 3 value, 6, 6, 8, 9 up to 10 values you got. Okay, this is the for. So if you know, if condition is true it will enter, or else else is there, you go into that. Just for rough introduction, I am creating boolean. So I declare variable called a. So when a is false, the symbol will tell you what, if the value is false, so it will enter into this. So what I will do, debug.log, I want to print something. So value of a is something. So value of a is what? By default, boolean value is what? False. So I am also checking if false aitene, if false is true, this condition will true, it will enter into this. Else the value of a I want to print. If else, if it is not true, I want to print this. I am saving here. Amazing. So now this array will disappear because I edited, right? So just want to make it true. Okay, now I want to print. So what will it come? True will come because the condition will check with the, it's not false. It means it is enter into this loop. Okay, so once it is false, it will print false. So why it's not came? Because the start will compile only one time. If you want to recheck, if you want to stop the application and make it false, you need to false. Okay, or else you can write it in a update. So it will, every time it will check the loop. Okay, now I want to access the game object using script. Okay, so if you are observe here, car has some values, right? Like 0, y direction is also 0, and Z is also 0. Okay. So I want to access the car with the script and move it to here. Like I want to access the model and I want to place these values to car has to place at x position 1, y position 1 and z position is also 1. I want these values to be changed by the script from 00 to 111. Okay. So the script is added to this game object only, right? So what I am going to write, just observe. Okay. So which component I need to access for, so which component I need to access? The transform component I need to access because the position I want to change, right? So which component I want to use? Transform component only I want to use. Okay. XYZ are the values I want to change, right? So direct, so whatever the I need to just, okay, just I will write game object dot, everything is game object, right? I told you. So game object dot will like plus how it helps, same as it is, dot will also concatenate the objects, components, classes. Okay. So game object dot, what I need to access, if now game object means what it will take, script is added to which component, car game object, right? The component script controller script is added to car game object. Now you are saying here game object means what it will take, car it will take, car dot, in the car what you need to access, transform. So just write transform dot, what you need to going to set, you need to access position. Okay. So position you need to assign. How can you assign? Using assigning operator. You know the operators, right? Operators, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus division, arithmetic operators, relational operators, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So you already these values are, so like that. Assigning operator is nothing but equal to is the assigning operator. Okay. So whenever you are writing dot position, so what it will do, position, it will give the information or it can use to set the information. So whenever you put the cursor on the position, you will see here position get set, so you can get the value or you can set the value. Okay. So now I want to set the value. Okay. Position is what type, be from the starting vector 3 transform. Vector 3 means what? In the maths you can know this vector 3. Vector 3 is nothing but three values x, y, z. Okay. So vector 3 you need to assign for the position. So what I am going to create, if anything you want to new create new vector 3. So what is this vector 3 holds? Three values. Okay. So I want to set the position 1 comma 1. So before, what is this values consist of car? So I want to just print it and show you. Print just before I am assigning, just I want to print the what car values as. Okay. Car position value. Okay. Car position value is what I want to print it before I am assigning. Okay. So this what it will do, our position values it will do, game object dot transform dot position. So here is what it is using get. So you are getting the values. Here you are setting the values. Okay. Simple. So I am again and copying and paste it. So car position before, car position after. Okay. Save. So my script is attached to the game object. The compiler is done. I just want to check the car position. Okay. Just I am playing. So if you want to see the console, just go to the window and select the console here. Okay. console is open. So I am just playing. Okay. So first positions are 0, 0, 0. After the repositioning, the values are 1, 1, 1. Just observe the car. The car will be changed the position, right? So if you want to change more, the effect will be there. My position is 1 only, and I want to this to be 12, and it is 6. Okay, car is moved towards 6, 1, 12. Here in transform also you can see the values 6, 1, 12, or you have printed, right? So these are the float values. That's why 6.0, 1.0, 12.0 is showing. Okay, this is the form to access the object using script. Okay, now I am for a little bit I want to change within the script. Okay, I want to add the position continuously. Okay, start will execute for me only once, right? So I want to add the value with continuously. Okay, so what will I do? Same game object dot transform dot position. So this position I want to add like every time. So what I am going to use this operator. This operator is what? Increment, decrement, you know, right? Operators. Increment operator, what are there? Post increment, pre increment is there. These are the operators. So these are the basics in the operators, right? So position, I'm every time I'm adding with the right side, whatever the you are giving the value, it will automatically add it for the position. Okay, right? So now I want to add vector 3. Only in z direction I want to add. So in x direction I will add 0. Only in x direction I will add 0.2 value or 0.1 value I want to add. So here 0.1, which is a float value. So you need to put it if, because why? Because by default float consist unity has double. So whenever you put f means it will convert it as float. Okay. So save. So what I did for the position, and every time I am adding in the z direction 0.1 value, in x and y value I am adding 0 only. Okay, so just check it how it is looking. So car is there, z means this direction, right? So the first z value is 0 and I am playing now. So every time it will add it to here 0.1, right? The car is moving now continuously. Why? Because here in the z value is adding by 0.1 every time. Okay, if you put it uh, in the x value from 0.01, x direction also it will add with the value 0.01. Okay, so x direction is also I am adding, so x is also moving, right? You can say like this. So it's going like cross. So this is the way to access the game object using script. Now I want to access the component, right? Which component? As I am using the transform, accessing transform component, I want to use some other component. Okay, now what will I do? I want to use this, which I want to use this body material. I want to change at the runtime. This I want to change at runtime. Okay, so now what will do? Access public. I need to in the public. What I have to access? Body I need to access. So the script is for the car, right? Controller script is for the car, but I want to access body. In the body I want to use material. In the material I want to use red color. So I want to change the color of the material, which is want to set red color or whatever. Okay, so what will I do? First I will access the game object. Which game object? Body game object. So that I need to touch the body, right? So I will take the game object. What I told you, everything in the Unity is called as game object. So that's the reason I am saying everything in the game object Unity project is called as game object. So this game object named as GOB, right? Okay, I'm just saving. Here you can see the, in public you can see the value, what value it's expecting, game object type it's expecting. So I'm just dragging the my game object and dragging here. So body I am accessing, car body I am accessing. Okay, so now car body I need to access with the name GOB. So what will I do? GOB dot get component. So what component I need to access? Material I need to access. So in the Unity, what the material is called, render type is called. So rendering consists of Unity materials. So mesh render consists Unity material, car material, whatever is there, it will holds the in render. Okay, so I will just tell you renderer dot material dot color equal to so many color dot red. Okay, first I am checking whether it will work or not. Let's see. Okay, the car will become red, right? So whenever I play it, the car color will become red. Why? What I wrote, just see in the, so I am accessing GOB game object. GOB is nothing but what? My car body here. GOB is nothing but the car body, right? So car body dot, so what I am getting, game object dot render. So material, where it will store, in render component the material information will store. So renderer material, in that I might want to access color. So color equal to what I added, color is the class type. In that class red is there, so I am accessing red. So if you don't want red, you want black, just hit black. Okay, save. So basic scripting is more enough. Don't need to panic for this. Okay, black color is applied automatically. Okay, now car is looking nice, right? Okay, so some little more. Okay, so these are the types. Okay, now I want to show you the inputs. For game, where the input will take, game window will take the inputs, right? This game window will take the inputs. Now what are the inputs you can give, as of understood? So with mouse you can give inputs, right? With keyboard you can give inputs. If it is mobile you can give with the touch, right? So far we are working for the PC, so we can test with the mouse inputs and keyboard inputs. Okay, so now I will tell you about the mouse inputs. So I don't know, whenever I click the mouse, right? So everything, every time I have to check. That's the reason I need to write in the update only, right? So in update, what I am going to write is whether you are clicked or not. So or which button you are going to click, or which button you clicked. Every details I need to check in the update, because update is a continuously calling function. If you wrote in a start, it will call for once, right? So that time you won't be gave an input, right? So every time you need to check means you have to write in the update. So how to give the inputs? If okay, why I'm writing it? Because I have to check, right, what input. That's the reason I explained if. Okay, if input is the class. Okay, by default class provided by the Unity engine dot input. Here whenever you selected the input, here what it came, interface into the input system, the class from the Unity engine system. This is the system from the Unity input. Okay, input dot get mouse button. Okay, directly it will give you this one, get mouse button down, get mouse button up, get mouse button. Okay, so I want to show you the all mouse clicks. So mouse has three buttons, right, left, right, middle one. So get mouse button down, which one, this expecting the integer value. So 0 means left click, 1 means right click, 2 means middle click. Okay, I'm just copying this, paste, copying, paste. So this time I want to print what I want to print. This is left click. Print. This is right click. And this one, okay. This is middle. So just I want to display and show you. Later we'll move to some advanced. Okay. So I saved with Control S. This is for the saving the script. Okay. So get mouse button down. 0 means left click. 1 means here. 1 means right click, and 2 means middle click. Okay. So compiler is done. I need to open the console window, console. Okay. Now I am play. So far I am not clicking. Okay. So the output is nothing. So now I'm clicking the left click. Okay. Okay. Whenever I click the left click, what is this is the left click. Okay. So if you click here, it won't display. If you click here, wherever you click, it won't take the input. Only the game window will take the input. Okay. Left click you are clicking. That's the reason the printing is executing. Now I want to click middle one. So the middle is executing, right? This is the middle click. This is the left click. This is the right click, middle click. Left, right, middle. Okay. Left, right, middle. Left, right, middle. Left, right, middle. Okay. So the blue one is the for a right click. The red one is for the left click, and the middle one is nothing. Okay. So this is the mouse input. Okay. Now I want to explain for the keyboard. Same as it is. If there are some, then I need to check with the condition whether you clicked or not. So if input same class dot, so these are the keys, right? Keyboard keys. So I need to get key. Okay. Get key. What is it? It's expecting key code and with the any key. So I'm just write key code dot. Any of the key you can give here. A button you can give alpha and asterisk ampersand alt at B backslash break button back caps lock clear colon comma, whatever the key you want to give you can assign here. Delete button, So I just want to give them letter M. Okay, let's say M. If I click M, what should it give? Print. You selected alphabet M. Okay. Whenever I click M, it will execute like this. So whatever the functionality you want to do, you wrote in the between these two places. Okay. Now I am saving and executing. Okay. Okay, able to see, right? So input dot get key. What I am getting M letter. As I am pressing M, it will allow to you execute this one. Playing. So left click, right click, I deleted, so it's not working. So I am clicking M letter. Okay, you selected the alphabet M, right? So I am continuously pressing the M. Okay, this is the inputs from keyboard and mouse. Okay, so there are some other values is there, like from the keyboard. If axis is there, okay, just we will want to extend first. So right input, sorry, input dot get axis. Horizontal value is greater than 0. So I want to print the values. So where it will get from here only I will get, right? Okay, this time hitting save. Now horizontal keys are nothing but these arrows is there beside the number lock. Beside the number keys is there. The horizontal keys are left arrow, right arrow are the horizontal one. Okay. Whenever I am looking greater than values, so I'm clicking like this. So what it will return? So horizontal means what values? Horizontal greater than means right arrow, right arrow. Okay. Same greater than less than 0 means left values, left arrow values. So left arrow will be whenever you hit the condition will be getting true. Now it will enter into this one. So as of now I wrote for only greater than 0. So only right arrow will execute. So if I wrote less than 0, the left arrow key will be execute whenever you hit the left arrow. Same for the, it will, like you know, right, ASD, WASD keys, same like the horizontal keys. Right arrow means D, D value capital D. This is the left arrow means A letter. Okay. Same like vertical is also there. The vertical here, which arrow? It is less than 0 means down. So this is the letter S. And down arrow. It is up arrow. The letter W. Understood it? Sorry. So these are the axes from the keyboard. Horizontal keys, which is right arrow, left arrow, and up arrow, down arrow for the this is vertical. Like that. Okay. Now I just want to know I just want to explain about functions. So these are the default function which is provided by the Unity. Okay, you already know that. So there are some functions with some types. So with arguments, no return type. With arguments, no return type means, so I want to just uh, void my function. No, right. Wait a minute. Void. This is the function declaration, right? Your function name, return type. Okay, return type is nothing, no return type. Void is nothing but no return type. With arguments means I want to pass some arguments inside the brackets. Whatever we wrote it called arguments, right? So with arguments, so I need to print a. Now I want to pass some value to a. So I am calling my function. Without calling my function, this function won't be executed. So this is the start and update is from calling by the Unity, but my created function is nowhere calling. So that's why I am calling my function. So my function a value is 100. Okay. So now what the value I will get? So I am calling my function and passing the value. So I am passing the arguments. So int type means I am giving value 100. A start will automatically call means my function is also automatically called, and the whatever I wrote inside my function will be executed. That means my function is called, right? So a value is 100. So if you want to know where this output comes from, double click on it. So it will automatically redirect here. So 100 is come from here. Okay. Now the other function I want to explain to you. Sorry. The other function with return type. Okay. With argument, it is no return type, right? So I want to return type. What it will return? Int type it will return, right? So if you want to return here something, so return here. Okay, this is the syntax for with
Hello?
argument with return type. Yes,
Hello?
yes. So now I want to print the value. So I am passing my value 100 and I am returning a. Okay. So I want to print it this function so that I can get the value. So I get the 100, right? Double click on it to get from here. Okay. So this is two functions we have completed with this one, and now with argument no return type is completed. So it's completed. So with return type no arguments. No arguments means inside the bracket won't be there. Okay. So I will remove this one. Okay. So I want to so return time should be there for the any sorry. Okay. So I'll call my function. Want to pass no return type. No return type, no arguments. Okay. Just I am calling my function. I want to print my string. String name equal to India. String whatever the string you want to give, you need to give in a double quotes, right? So string name. So whenever I call, I want to print it. Print my name. Print name. What it will return? India it will return. With so I'm calling in function. My function start function. Okay. Now I'm saving. So India is called, double click on it, we call from here. Now, how the exceptions are looking here. So I didn't put any semicolon for the print name, okay? So and I saved here. And I came here to play this one, okay? Play this one. What it will do, all compiler errors has to fix before you can enter into play mode. So wherever the exception is there, if you want to know it, just double click on it, it will automatically redirect to that particular function area. So here the red symbol is showing that expecting with the call. Okay, just save it. Whenever you the compiler will compile, if it is correct, it will erase the error. Okay. So here in console you are seeing this collapse, clear and play, error pass. What it means? Collapse means if the same output you are printing, whenever you selected collapse, it will count the output thing. It won't it won't display to separately. Okay. Clear and play means if you have already some values are there, some display, some messages are there. Whenever you hit play, it will clear and play the console. Error on pause means at any time of your execution or running the project, if there is any error is there, it will automatically process like this by the Unity. Okay, these are the enables. If you want to work with, you are enabling everything and you can work with. So whenever the error is come, it will automatically process so that you can check the your error and work on it. Okay, with the small thing I want to go. So I want to move a car with my input. Whenever I click, I want to move a car. Whenever I second click, the car has to stop. Okay, that's my requirement so far. So how do I write? So whenever I first click, the car has to move. Whenever the second click will happen, the car has to stop. Okay, how it is possible? Like this. Okay, for that I am taking one boolean. Okay, bool or control. Okay, or control. So by default, what I will check it is true. Which one car control is true? Car control is true. What it will do? Car has to move. Car has to move means same object dot as it is transform dot position needs to go with some speed. So I am adding every time with the z value new vector 3 because vector 3 is holding xyz values. So x direction 0 every time I need to add, y direction is 0 I need to add. Only in Z direction I am adding 0.1 value every time. So this when it will execute car controller value is whenever it is true, it will enter into this one, or else the car won't be moved. That's the point, right? Understood, right, everyone? So now what I have to access car controller, I need to access by the mouse click. Okay, so if mm, did I clicked or not, I have to check that. So input that mouse button, click mouse button 0, so means left click. So whenever I click the left one, okay, whenever I click the left one and the car controller should be true, right? So car controller equal to, I'm doing true value. Okay, now what will happen whenever I click, the car controller should be getting true. Whenever the car controller should be true, this line will be executed automatically, right? So for the second click, the car controller should be false, right? So how can I check that one? So I will write else if. Else if what it will I will do, if you click this one, you click this one and the car controller value is true, right? Car controller value is true means what should happen, this value should be false. So this will be false. Okay, first I am clicking with the first click, it will become true. Okay, for the second time I am doing with the false. So here one more what I want to check is if car controller is not true, then only I want to make it true. Okay, simple. So and is how it is works. I will just want to. So this and will work like both the conditions should be true. Okay, then only the and will allow you to enter. Or will how it will any of the one condition should be true. Any of the one should be true. But the and both should be true. Then only it will enter into the next step. Okay. So here at first my car controller value is what? Public. I just declare. I am not assigning any value. So by default it is false. So it is true. This is also true. So first time it will execute here. So whenever it is true, it will execute in here. So it is automatically performed. So it will continuously check for this true or he has clicked or not. Whenever he has clicked, the control should be false. Just check. The simple logic. Okay. So I am playing. So by default here car controller value is what? False. So I'm just clicking here. So it's moving. Like right. Continuously it's moving. So I want to click one more. So it became stopped. Okay. So again I want to show you with some values I want to decrease 0.05. 0.01 is enough because it's going very fast, right? So here is my car. So I selected a car, right? Here is my car. So it is for the first click. It is for the first click. It's going, and it is for the second click. Wait a minute. This is for the second click. Okay, it says stop. Okay. or if you want to very clearly, if you want to understand, just to make it like this. So get mouse button down. Whenever you down the left click, so this will become true. Whenever you up the get mouse button up. So whenever the left button is up, the car controller should be false. So up to you down, the car will be go like this. So whenever the click is you released, the car should be stopped. So it's moving. I am still holding. So I am releasing. So it's become stop. I am clicking and holding. Clicking and released. Clicked. Clicked means it's become true here, right? So I am releasing now. So it's become false. That's the reason it's become stop. Functions variable inputs. Okay. So I can tell you this compiler will compile line by line execution. C# will execute line by line execution, right? As you know, the compiler will compile run by run. Now I will set up one plane. Okay. I will scale it. I want to add some material to it for the plane. So I select whatever the materials I have, just want to look it into it. So I need to add this one, wall texture. Okay. To the wall texture, my car is there, right? My car is here. If I have rigid body, so here is the problem. So collision is not applied for the car so far. So that's the reason the car is falling into the plane. Okay. No component. So how can you remove the component? So just right click on the component and remove component. So it will remove from the inspector. If you want to add a component, you can add from here direct. So I want to add the script called controller. So if you want in full screen, maximize on play, select maximize on play and pause it and pause. So you will get here. So I want to see my camera to car. Okay. Car here, and I drop the camera to my car. Okay. So I will hit the car is moving. So if you want to increase the value here. Sorry. Save. It is moving. Whenever I stop, it will stop. So you can see here I am pressing the alt and rotating for this one. I am holding the left click and rotating. Right click and I use USD keys. So any doubts so far regarding scripting arrays, variables, functions, input to system? Any doubts you can ask me, right? Regarding any doubts, you can ask me.
Sir, can we create our own texture inside this Unity
Uh,
from bringing from outside by using some
yeah,
big?
so far Unity is developing like that, but now we don't have that much texture. And we can get from Maya or 3ds Max,
Okay.
or you can download it from your own. So far Unity is not editable for modeling
Mhm.
and everything.
Okay.
Just you need to production, you need to build the project, need to set up,
Mhm.
not for edit.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
the setup is going to ready. The update will come in soon.
Mhm. Good.
Texture we can move means I can show you like this. If you want more tiling and offset, you can increase here. Like I want 10 offset,
Mhm.
10 for texture. Okay. So
Okay.
for this cube,
Done.
I will add my texture, wall texture. So
Mhm.
here you can control them one by one. You can set the offset. The tiling is there. No?
Mhm.
I have a doubt. Uh, Hello.
Yeah. Please tell. Yeah, please
Uh,
tell.
sir, do we have to place the main camera uh, along the direction where the car is moving? Then only we can move the car.
Yeah. Sorry. You need to follow the camera, right, to the car.
Uh, n-
Yes.
so, if the camera is not focused in the that is, the camera has to be focused in the direction we are planning to move the car.
Sorry.
Then
You.
only
Yeah.
the car will move in a particular direction. That is,
Yeah.
if you are
Yeah.
not focusing the camera, it will not work.
No. Actually, what happens? I just drag camera into the car because the camera has to follow the car, right? So the camera has one script. It will follow the car automatically. So I didn't write now so far because I'm just explaining for the basics, right? So actually what happened, the car is moving left, right, whatever the direction it will move, right? The camera has some script. What it will do, the car object should follow the camera. So we can say like this. Okay. So here I will write like this. Just observe it. So control here I will take the public game object car. Okay. I will take the reference of the car. Here what I will write game object dot transform dot position. So this script is for camera, not for the car. Okay. So what it will do, the camera position will automatically change it based on the whatever the car direction is there. Like I will take here car dot transform dot position. Okay. Car dot transform dot position dot x value. So the car x value and the y value, z value I will take with some distance I need to follow. So if the car has position in 10 in the x direction, so I want to move to the x to that position. Like I will show you. So my car is here and my camera is here. Some distance should be followed, right? So what I will say, the car exposition is 0 and the camera exposition should be maintained by 0.2, and the car position is y is minus 0.31 and the camera y value should be 1.4. The every time the difference should be, I need to calculate towards the car. Okay, if car is here, so the camera has to follow up to this much distance. That is the script which is uh, holded by the camera. That script will help you to move the camera towards the car, with whether the car is rotated right or left, up, down, wherever the car will go. For some distance, the camera should follow like this. Okay, so that means you have to access the camera transform. So you need some calculations, little bit of calculations, like car values. Let's say car z value is 0. Okay, car z value is how much? Minus, let's say. Okay, so car z value is 0 and the camera z value is -4. So the distance is way what? -5 is the distance from car to camera. So this much distance you need to maintain every time. So you need to write like that. If the car distance is greater than 5, like that, so the camera should be followed, or the camera should go towards the car. So whenever the distance is becoming false, so you need to stop the camera. That's like that, you need to script it for the camera follow to car.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. This is Rohit.
Yeah, Rohit.
Can we use a text editor other than this one, like Atom or Notepad++?
Notepad, scripting we can, it's automatically whenever you install Unity, the Visual Studio is also installed automatically. So here, edit, preferences, external tool. So it is looking for the Visual Studio. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Cannot edit in the edit place. Your Visual Studio is also provide you to drop downs, like if I am writing something game object, so it will automatically give the auto selection for you. Okay, if
So
you
it's
write in a note plus or notepad, by default Unity will providing this Visual Studio, right, with more features. So why we are using, so why don't we use this one only?
But can we use some other language for scripting apart from this?
Yeah, we can use
Is this option available with this? I think.
yeah, JavaScript is we are using, and C#.
Okay. Python is also supporting here.
Yeah, for some versions. But so far, only we are using JavaScripting and C#.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, yesterday sir said that there are sticker means we don't need to write all these program, so we can directly put while using those.
Stickers in which game engine?
No, I asked yesterday, sir, is it necessary to use programming? So sir said that there is other option.
Here also some other option is direct node-based programming is there, like you Unreal. We need to use some plugin in Unity, like we are writing like this, no, transform.game object get component. There you need to just you need to assign the nodes, like you need to use the position. You need to drag the position node and drag to some value. So which direction you want to move, you need to add the nodes in Unity. So there are some plugins without using scripting also you can use Unity.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So one more thing for everyone. If you want to use any models or any free fetched models, so just go into your window. Here there is a asset store window is there. So just maximize it. So in asset store, if you want to free ones or zero, you don't want to buy anything, just put 0 and hit enter. And here you want to check any model if you want to import or use. Now Footpack is there. I click here, Footpack. So here it will show you supported Unity versions 2018.4.14 are here. So far I am using 2017, right? So that's the reason it's not highlighting. I will show you one more thing, which is able to use. There are some rock and boulders are there. I'm just downloading it. So sign in with Google. If you are once sign in, it won't ask you for every time. So, okay. So just it will give you two option like import. So just you need to import it and you can use it in your project. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you integrate our phone's motion sensor with this project? Like, if I'll move my phone, automatically car will go forward, backward, left, right.
Yeah.
If there is an
That is,
existing API.
yeah. Actually, that's input is called. Typing mistake. We can call it as accelerometer. If I wrote it also, you cannot able to, like, it's not, you need to build it for mobile. So just you need to write it to input dot accelerometer. I will show you. Or if you have any doubts, like, I will already explain to you.
Let's say we want to integrate it to any HoloLens or some VR glass. How to integrate?
Yeah, wait a minute. So here is the concept if you are asking, right? Like mobile left, right, like accelerometer we can say.
Okay.
For this one, the mobile, if you are rotating mobile, you will get the values here. Accelerometer.
Okay.
Input dot acceleration. Even though if I wrote and print it, it gives 0 only because it's not built for the mobile, right? It's need to switch it for Android and you need to build it. That APK through only you can get the values and check the value, left and right direction.
Okay.
Yeah,
to
someone is
integrate
asking HoloLens something.
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah.
How to integrate HoloLens and any VR glass.
Yeah, here we have a option. Build settings is there. Here player setting in. If you are using Vuforia augmented reality thing, you need to switch it like this. And virtual reality supported, AR core supported. Like that only for HoloLenses, we need to integrate some features by the this thing. So we need to import some model supported libraries for that HoloLenses. So whenever you switch it into the HoloLenses, it automatically loads that related libraries. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is it possible for you, like maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow classes, maybe a very small demo with any type
Yeah,
of new.
AR thing tomorrow I will AR small project I will show you tomorrow.
Okay. Is it with available hardware or only the simulation here?
Is it with sorry?
Is it, will you show it with hardware? I mean, any lens, HoloLens, or any
No,
glass?
no.
Or
So far we don't have HoloLens device. It is for some other testing. Uh, I will show you the AR related kind of stuff of how to create and how to use the AR. So I have some small projection for you. So how AR will using in education industry. Now we are using in engineering industries. So a small little project will I will show you tomorrow regarding AR. This one. Whenever you open your camera to or iPad phone, object how it will look into on the real world.
okay.
Sir, is this Euphoria is useful in AR or it can be used in
Yeah,
both
Vuphoria is for the AR. That is also one game engine. Vuphoria engine we can say. It is basically it is mainly used for the Unity integration with the AR. So using Vuphoria SDK, how we can project the AR project. So how we can show the AR APKs. Tomorrow we'll discuss with the Vuphoria and how to create the project. How can we use the AR kind of stuff? Okay.
So for the VR, it is not used. That is for VR, we can use only Unity packages
Ah,
only.
yeah. For Unity, you have 1 minute. I will show you directly. Unity also supports for AR, VR, MR. MR means mixed reality. Okay, but mainly this Unreal is gives the more quality. That's the reason VR is developing in the Unreal Engine. Unity also will give you the MR, VR stuff. Okay.
That is this Unreal is similar to Unity.
Unreal is different engine, game engine, and Unity is a different game engine. I think day after tomorrow we have starting with Unreal. I think that interface is totally different. Here we are using some scripting, right? In Unreal Engine, you no need to use any scripting. There are directly node-based programming there. If you want to move any game object, just you need to get that like some box at node-based thing is. I will show you how the scripting is like. So it will looking like this. So if you want to move a game object, you need to just connect the nodes. Which direction? Just you need to give the conditions for what value you need to go. Like this, the programming totally it will be like this, node based programming. And there is also scriptable program is also there in Unreal, but more you using this multiplication, addition, these joints. These are so many nodes will be provided by the Unreal. If you want to use same node based programming in Unity also, there are some plugin to use it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So like this, if you want to use virtual reality using Oculus devices, you need to integrate this Oculus SDK. Okay, this is free from by the Oculus. So you need to first integrate this Oculus SDK, and later you have to work it. Okay, someone asked like HoloLenses, how about HoloLenses, right? Same like HoloLenses also, there are some SDKs to use it in Unity. We have one Leap Motion also. Leap Motion will give you the for so far VR has some controls, left and right controls are there. Like I will show.
Can you show some demo with leap motion sensor? Maybe
Yeah.
hand gesture or something.
Leap Motion demo. Right.
You are teaching very nicely, very nice demo. But thing is that the session is named AR and VR, but most of the session has covered regarding game development only.
Yeah, because you need to first know the basics, right? Before we are getting into AR is like once you know this interface and everything. If I directly say you don't know where I am selecting what, that's the reason the brief introduction is necessary for the first day.
Yeah, it is fine for today.
Tomorrow is the AR session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole GUI should be integrated with AR VR only. Maybe let's say car, you would have some printer you would have taken, or some laptop repairing you would have taken. Like while a person is going to repair any industrial equipment, then how AR VR will be positioned. Even if for this car also you can orient the same example with the repairing and manufacturing.
Yeah, like you said, if I went to some area, okay, like this, or I went to a big shopping mall, okay, with consist of some 10 12 floors or 10 20 floors. So I don't know where the exit is, I don't know where the what shop is where. Okay, so every floor there are some targets, so some scanner is there. So whenever your app AR app which we have built, to open it and scan it, that so it will show you the information regarding that floor. So where the what shop is there, where the food area is there, where the cinematic area is there. So like that AR application will use. So in education also, so whenever you scan it for a particular model in anatomy or like this, what thing is will do what, it will detailedly explain without having any person knowledge. Okay, this is also in manufacturing area. This is in real estate area. As you know, only you have blueprint, but you don't expecting the output after you are constructing it. But with Unity it can possible. With only blueprint only, you can get your house how it is look before the construction. Okay, and there are so many useful with the AR. So you have, like, if earlier you said, right, one problem is there, how we need to go get into like this. You have a motor, so what stuff is there, what you need to do, what problem is there, everything you can see like this.
Okay. Are you giving these demos? I mean, real life demos?
Tomorrow I will give you with how projection will happen on the scanner. Like you have a 2D object, how the projection will come from the that thing. So tomorrow I will show you this thing.
Okay. Okay, thanks. The session is very nice.
Yeah, thank you. So tomorrow I will show you like this something. So in floor you will get some, or you can have the scanner. So here the scanner is there. 1 minute. Yeah, like this. So it is the scanner. Okay. So whenever you scan the application, the object will come here on the screen. Let's say for kids, we don't know, like we know how to write it, how to spell it, right? For kids, we don't know. So assume like this scanner is the letter A. Okay. So whenever I projection, I need, whenever I open my AR app and project on the scanner, it will automatically show the letter A, how to write it, how to pronounce it, whatever the related apple and like that. So tomorrow I will going to show this type of example. Whenever you scan, the object will be appear. This is called AR, augmented AR technology. Scanner based object detection in 3D world. Is still any doubts with anybody? Hello? Hello? Yes, anybody have any doubts? You can please ask.
Actually, Ganesh sir, thanks for your
Yeah,
session.
yeah.
It's really good, sir. And all I think. Sir, actually, I just emulate the same in the mobile phone using Unity.
Sorry.
Unity.
Can you explain one? Start.
Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, actually, I just emulate the same. That means this kind of rendering and other things in my mobile phone through laptop. I'm
Yeah.
using Unity Remote as an app in Android. Unfortunately, it is not working properly, sir. Can you guide me?
Yeah, you need to install the Android Studio. Supported. You need to
Yes, sir. That
download the
particular app
Android
name is
Studios.
called Unity Remote.
Yeah, Unity Remote in the sense.
Yes, sir.
Whenever you play in editor, same kind of stuff you can see in the mobile, right? So
Mobile,
for
yes.
that, your mobile has to support the remote thing. For that, you need to install some SDKs, supported SDKs or libraries in your PC. Okay, it will automatically read and project you the output to your phone.
Okay, in the Unity editor itself, I want to add some add-on.
Yeah, Unity editor only in PC only, wherever you are working in Unity only you
Fine,
need
sir.
to add the
Sir, if
libraries.
possible, tomorrow's session, can you give some small demo for us?
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, the session is closing. I need to. So.
Yeah, that was a very nice session from Vinay.
Yes.
The
Thank you, ma'am.
insights drawn from your session are, I think, hopefully useful for all the faculty members that are registered in the FTP.
Yeah, thank you. If anyone has any doubts, let me know, ma'am. And if I don't, like, I can share with my phone number.
Yeah,
If I has
yeah,
any,
definitely. Yeah. So today we'll wind up the session, and tomorrow's session starts at 10 a.m. I'll share the link by tomorrow to the participants. Thank you. We can leave now. Thank you. Yeah, please note down this phone number. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.